Tonight, NNPC confirms new fuel price as Nigeria Labour Congress fumes. Governor Akeredolu vows decisive action against stations hoarding petrol. Bandits abduct 2 Kaduna APC women leaders. And from the foreign scene, International Olympic Committee condemns police action against India wrestlers. Good evening and welcome on the news tonight. I am Jane Aina. The National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited, has officially increased fuel pump price to more than 500 naira in different parts of the country. NNPC station pegged fuel price at 500 naira in Akure, 488 in Lagos, and 537 naira per litre in Abuja. NNPC spokesman Gabardine Muhammad in a statement said the increase in price was an adjustment to current market realities, indicating petrol subsidy removal. He, however, assured Nigerians of NNPC's commitment to ensuring a ceaseless supply of products. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) has fumed over the adjustment of pump prices by Nigerian National Petroleum Company. Describing the development as unfortunate, NLC President Joe Ajaero said NNPC's action was coming on the heels of an ongoing meeting with stakeholders in the oil and gas sector to manage the unilateral but unfortunate announcement by the president. Ajaero called on the federal government to immediately instruct NNPC to withdraw the pricing template to allow free flow of discussions by the parties. He added that Nigerians would not accept any manipulations of any kind from any of the parties, especially from the representatives of the government. Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has warned petroleum marketers and owners of fuel stations in the state against hoarding petrol. The warning became necessary after long queues surfaced at filling stations across the state, notably in Akure, the state capital, since Monday. The governor said all petrol stations in the state should dispense fuel in their tanks to ease the people of the long hours spent at fuel stations. Consequently, Akeredolu has directed the governor's task force to move around the state and deal decisively with any fuel station found hoarding the product. 2 senators, Patrick Akinyelure and Matthew Uhogide of the People's Democratic Party, have announced their resignations from the party. Their resignations were contained in separate letters to the Senate and read by the Deputy Senate President Ovie Omoagege, who presided over the plenary. Uhogide and Akinyelure were silent on the party they are defecting to, but the Deputy Senate President who read the letters urged them to join the All Progressives Congress. While Uhogide said his resignation takes immediate effect, Mr. Akinyelure said his resignation will take effect in 12 days' time after the expiration of his 3rd term in the State Senate. Mr. Uhogide, the chairman of Senate's Committee on Public Accounts, said he is resigning from the PDP because of the differences among leaders of the party. The Presidential Election Petition Court has adjourned hearing of Thursday on the request of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. The presiding justice of the 5-man panel, Justice Haruna Simon Samani, gave the adjournment at the instance of the petitioner. At the resumption of hearing today, counsel for the petitioner, Awa Kalu, told the court that the initial plans of Obi's legal team was to present documents to the court today, but were challenged by a sudden illness of a key staff at the Secretariat. Justice Samani granted the prayer for adjournment and consequently adjourned till tomorrow for the continuation of the hearing. A fellow of the Nigeria Academy of Science has thrown his weight behind a proposed bill at the National Assembly seeking to mandate any Nigeria-trained medical or dental practitioner to practice in Nigeria for a minimum of 5 years before being granted a full license by the council to practice abroad. Professor Adeshegun Fatusi, the Vice Chancellor of University of Medical Sciences UNIMED Ondo, who spoke with OSRC, affirmed that the bill is for the benefit of all. Omoshiliola Adesoyajayi now reports.
Statistics have shown that Nigeria produces 4,000 doctors annually but could only retain 30% of that number in the country. At present, findings revealed that only 24,000 licensed medical doctors are available in the country, a number far less than 10% of the World Health Organization's recommendation. And in a bid to stop the trend, the House of Representatives has proposed a bill for a law to mandate any Nigeria-trained medical or dental practitioner to practice in the country for a minimum of 5 years before being granted a full license by the council to practice abroad. The bill, which has scaled through second reading at the National Assembly, has generated a lot of controversies. While some commended the move, others berated the lawmakers for raising such a bill. According to the Vice Chancellor, University of Medical Sciences, UNIMED, Ondo, Professor Adeshegun Fatusi, the move will ensure availability of adequate medical services for Nigerians.
It's a desperate solution to a desperate problem. The problem we are in is very desperate. We are losing doctors, nurses at such a fast rate that if you don't do something about it drastically, it's like being in a state of war. In a state of war, you can't talk about civil liberty all the way. You have to balance liberty with the objective of the societal survivor. So to ask that people must serve the country for 5 years and they are not doing it for free, we're going to be paid. For me, I think it's a fair consideration.
While comparing the fees paid in foreign universities with their Nigerian counterparts, Professor Fatusi appealed to doctors in Nigeria to reciprocate government's gesture by tarring a bit before seeking greener pastures overseas.
These are people who are literally trained free of charge by the country. So to ask to pay back, for me, makes a lot of sense. And the government can make it such that the government can quantify what it takes to train a medical doctor and give you the permission to say, look, okay, I don't want to stay 5 years, I only stay 1 year. I'll pay you back for 4 years. Fair deal. But I think that to fold our hands, what is happening is to be irresponsible.
On the status of UNIMED, the VC said the tertiary institution has gone beyond ordinary university but now a signature of all eyes with the introduction of new courses to raise the bar of the institution among their peers.
There is no Nigerian university with a BSc program today in speech therapy, but we are glad that UNIMED is bringing that on. It's one of the 7 new courses we are bringing on. In our postgraduate program, we are also beginning to bring on this year a PhD program for doctors in the area of clinical sciences. That is something you find in less than 3 universities in Nigeria. So we are glad that we have continued to lead the pack and show the way forward in Nigeria health education professional landscape.
He informed that the first set of medical students of the institution are now qualified doctors.
That makes us, in the last 15-20 years, the first school to have produced doctors at the fastest rate in this country. We are proud that with the support of the state government, the investment in UNIMED, we have been able to accomplish this feat of producing our medical doctors within just about the right time.
The Dawn, however, tags all stakeholders to support the new administration in the country to succeed in its vision for education and health sectors. Omoshiliola Adesoyajayi, Osrc News.
You're watching the news at 7. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll serve you more stories. Please stay with us.
Every day, life presents hopes, dreams, and challenges. Challenges that can become successes with a little help. Because a little help can empower you to go from despair to celebration. A little help can keep you going. until the race is won. A little help can turn bundles of anxiety into a bundle of joy. And with Glow Data, you get much more than just a little help. You get the biggest data deals in town to make every day glow with small wins and big wins. Dial *777# to select your Glow Data plan.
Welcome back from that commercial break. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook OSRC TV. You can equally subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. And now to the rest of the bulletin. A student of Obe High School in Oda Town, Agnes Joseph, has emerged the winner of the inaugural Seeds for Change Secondary School speech contest organized by Barry Calibaut's group. According to the group's Sustainability Operation Manager, Mr. Mojid Oniyide, the speech contest is a platform to talk and involve future leaders in solutions to issues affecting cocoa farmers, particularly in the area of climate change. OSRC Saeed Aribisala reports that 10 students from 5 selected schools in rural and urban centers in Ondo State participated at the event.
The daily activities of man is putting increasing pressure on the environment, leaving carbon footprint behind and influencing climate change. The effect is felt virtually across all facets of life. To drive the desired change among young Nigerians towards environmental friendly activities in order to safeguard agriculture, particularly cocoa farming, this group, Barry Calibaut, organized a program tagged Seeds for Change Speech Contest. The group's Sustainability Operation Manager, Mr. Mujib Oniyide, said the platform is designed to allow future leaders be solution-oriented in addressing climate change impact.
To enlighten our children about some of the challenges the farmers are facing, and how from this young age of theirs they can start thinking of solution to support the farmers. We have some of the challenges facing the farmers, like the farm inputs, the climate change, our produce reducing all the time. Also with this one, we want the children also to see it as a challenge for them, so that in the future they can also prefer technological solutions. Even some of them might become farmers, some of them might become lawyers that will be formulating policies that will be supporting the farmers in the future. It's well understood that there are so many other countries ahead of Nigeria in terms of cocoa produce, but the earlier we tackle this, the earlier we take our children along, the earlier we let them understand some of the challenges that they are having, the better for us.
The participants for the speech contest are students drawn from 5 schools in rural communities and urban centers in Ondo State. With 2 representatives from each school, the contestants marshaled their points on topics like the future of our cocoa and our planet, and my part in shaping sustainable cocoa in Nigeria.
To encourage cocoa farmers to source their planting things from quality places.
At the end of 2-round contest, a student of Obe High School in Oda Town, Agnes Joseph, finished first with the first runner-up, also from the same school, while a representative of Aquinas College took 3rd position.
When my principal brought the information to us that we are going to a speech on cocoa, and that cocoa is very, very vital in our environment, so I learned that I being the daughter of a cocoa farmer is a great opportunity for me. So it shouldn't be a shame for me to say I am a cocoa farmer daughter.
Passion was there, and I got a lot of inspiration for so many people. So it has really helped me a lot to build my self-confidence.
I've learned our collective roles in promoting a sustainable growth and yield of cocoa in our society.
Aside the battle for honors, the students described the program as an eye-opener to the potential in agriculture and the need for collective effort.
I also talked about how we can improve the future of our cocoa by putting an end to deforestation, promoting sustainable soil fertility management and others.
Youth involvement in cocoa is relatively low because most youth prefers to be motorcyclists than to be a cocoa farmer. Most of their beliefs are that when you are a cocoa farmer, you are poor.
I would like to be a farmer with what I have learned in this because it's impressed me.
It's my first time coming to competition like this.
For the organizer, hundreds of trees will be distributed to some of the participating schools for planting, while also ensuring that the students take responsibility and be models for others in addressing climate change issues. Sahid Aribisala, Osrc News.
As the world marks the 2023 World No Tobacco Day, experts have suggested alternative farming to the growing of tobacco in society. They said the health and environmental implications of tobacco farming is far more than its benefits, hence the need for the government intervention to enhance healthy living. Amorela Obeji has details. We'll report of that in our subsequent bulletin. Katsina State Governor Diko Rada has announced the dissolution of all political appointments in the state. Rada's announcement followed rumors that some political appointees under former Governor Aminu Masari's administration were still operating from their offices within and outside Government House. Masari, whose tenure ended May 29, did not formally announce disengagement of political appointees under his administration. Some of the political appointees were hoping the new government will renew their appointments since they all belong to the same ruling All Progressives Congress. However, the governor directed that all political appointees hand over affairs of their offices to the most senior director in their ministries, departments, and agencies. Borno State government will later this year commence afternoon primary and secondary school education system. This is to address the problems of congestion and increased enrollment of out-of-school children. Governor Babagana Zulum, who announced this in Maduguri, said his administration has built dozens of new mega-sized schools and expanded existing ones, but it is still faced with issues of congested classrooms with thousands of out-of-school children. Zulum explained that introducing afternoon schools would entail an increased number of staff and newbies who will be trained on school orientation and be deployed to hold non-teaching positions in the afternoon schools. As part of measures to improve the standard of education in Borno State, Governor Zulum has also announced a plan to recruit 5,000 teachers during his second tenure. Taking this again as world marks the 2023 World No Tobacco Day, experts have suggested alternative farming to the growing of tobacco in society. They said the health and environmental implications of tobacco farming is far more than its benefits, hence the need for government intervention to enhance healthy living. Amoriola Obeji has details.
We need food, not tobacco, is the theme for 2023 World No Tobacco Day, which is geared towards raising awareness about alternative crop production and marketing opportunities for tobacco farmers. This will also encourage them to grow sustainable and nutritious crops so as to contribute to the global food sufficiency. According to research, tobacco-growing countries often face a negative economic impact due to the adverse health, environmental, and social impacts, especially in African countries where large portions of their fertile land are being used to grow tobacco rather than healthy crops. This, they said, causes ill health among farmers and irreversible environmental loss of precious resources such as water sources, forests, plants, and animal species. A medical expert, Dr. Michael Ojo, sheds more light into the health implication of tobacco intake on human system.
What the fuels it produces, has effects on the lungs. And at the end of the day, is connected with cancer of the lungs. That's why government everywhere usually asks those who produce them to meet that it has effect on your health. So that when you are taking it, you know that you know what you are taking.
A professor of agricultural economics at the Federal University of Technology, Akure, Taiwo Amos, wants government to educate farmers more on farming process to ensure food sufficiency.
If a crop must grow, it will take nutrients from the ground. That's for sure. Except for the crops we call the leguminous crop. The leguminous crops, when you grow them, they will rather return nitrogen that the plants need to manufacture their food, quote and unquote, now in layman's language. So thereby enriching the soil. But tobacco does not do that. Tobacco is taking the nutrient from the soil, unlike the legumes that we supply some nutrient into the soil, especially nitrogen. What we are saying is that government should put in place policy for adequate information for the small-scale farmers, that they will not just leave the farmers to do whatever they think is okay for them.
Senior Special Assistant to Ondo State Governor on Agri and Agribusiness, Akin Olotu, speaks on efforts of the state government in encouraging alternative farming to tobacco production. He added that about 85 hectares of land has so far been allocated to farmers across the 3 senatorial districts of the state.
In Ondo State, there is zero support for cultivation of tobacco. Zero support for cultivation of tobacco. So, we are still talking about food insecurity. This is 84,971 hectares, approximately 85,000 hectares. 1,000 hectares. An hectare is 2.5 acres. Number 2, we bought tractors so as to remove the drudgery or to reduce the drudgery associated with tillage of this land manually. We bought top quality tractors, which the government gave out a 30% subsidy, and repayment spread over 4 years.
Meanwhile, the 2023 theme for this World No Tobacco Day is calling on government and policy makers to come up with strategies that will promote alternatives to tobacco farming for healthy living. Omori Olahungiji, Osrc News.
Now, on issues of insecurity, bandits have reportedly abducted 2 women leaders of the All Progressives Congress along the Manini flashpoints in the Bernin Gwari local government area of Kaduna State. The incident happened when the women leaders, Hajia Lami Awaware and her assistant, Hajia Haulatu Aliyu, attended the inauguration of the state's governor, Uba Sani. The chairman, Bernin Gwari Emirates Progressive Union, Ishaq Kasai, confirmed the development, saying scores of other victims were kidnapped by the suspects. The abductors, according to Kasai, are yet to contact the families of the victims or any person in the area. Indian sailors numbering up to 16 have left Nigeria after 9 months of detention. They were detained following their prosecution alongside others at the Federal High Court, Port Harcourt, in January 2023 for infractions relating to crude oil thefts. The Nigerian Navy said their large crude carrier and her 26 foreign crew pleaded guilty and elected voluntarily to enter into a plea bargain agreement with the federal government, as well as make restitution to the government. The Indian sailors on board a Norwegian vessel to South Africa will travel to India, and from there will get to their home country on June 7. On the foreign scene, the International Olympic Committee, IOC, has condemned the way India's top wrestlers are being treated during their ongoing protests. It has also demanded an investigation into allegations that Indian wrestling chief Brij Sharan Singh sexually harassed female athletes. The wrestlers were temporarily detained by police on Sunday as they tried to march to the new parliament building. They were demanding the resignation and arrest of the Federation chief. Mr. Sai, who is also an influential MP from the governing Bharatiya Janata Party, has denied the allegations and accused the wrestlers of being politically motivated. Police have fired tear gas as demonstrators burned cars near the home of Senegal's main opposition leader, with tensions rising in the capital days before a court verdict is expected on charges against the politician. Ousmane Sonko is being tried for libel rape and could face up to 10 years in prison. If convicted, he would be barred from running in next year's presidential elections. Akintunde Akinshemola has the details.
Dozens of protesters clashed with security forces in Senegal's capital Dakar after lawmakers and supporters were blocked from visiting the home of a prominent opposition politician on trial for rape and libel. Police fired tear gas on demonstrators who built makeshift barricades along one of Dakar's main highways and in one neighborhood set cars and a ministerial building on fire. It's the latest round of month of unrest, triggered by President Macky Sall's refusal to rule out running for a third term in office, and by court cases involving a leading rival, Ousmane Sonko, who denies wrongdoing and says the charges aimed at ruling him out of presidential elections next February. Police diverted Sonko to his house after a caravan of vehicles, including him and some supporters, had planned to enter Dakar ahead of a court judgment in a rape trial expected on June the 1st. Opposition MP Ramatoulaye Bodian said politicians and mayors had planned to visit Sonko at home but were prevented by police who fired tear gas at them. Senegal's Interior Minister said the caravan had not sought permission and was stopped for security reasons. Senegal is seen as one of West Africa's strongest democracies and has a two-term limit for president, but critics of Sall worry that they will use a change in the constitution in 2016 as an excuse to reset his mandate and run again, as other long-standing rulers in the region have done. Akintunde Akinshemola for Osrc News.
And now on sports, Nigeria's Flying Eagles will in the next half an hour take on hosts Argentina in the round of 16 of the ongoing FIFA Under-20 World Cup. Nigeria finished third in their group, while Argentina finished with a 100% record. And now to end the news at 7, let's take a quick look at the major stories. The Nigerian Labour Congress has fumed over the adjustment of pump prices by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. The official pump price in Akure is 500 naira, Lagos 488 naira, and the Federal Capital Territory 537 naira. We also told you bandits have adopted 2 women leaders of the All Progressives Congress in the Birnin Gwari local government area of Kaduna State. And on the foreign scene, the International Olympic Committee has condemned the way India's top wrestlers were treated during their ongoing protest. And that will make it a wrap on the news at 7. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good evening.